Mala'ai, the culinary garden at Waimea Middle School, is a 1-acre outdoor living classroom. An important part of our work is observing and learning from nature, and then applying what we learn in all that we do. There are many interesting jobs on Hawaiʻi Island in science, technology, engineering, and math that also require learning from nature and the aina. To find out more about these STEM careers, we went into the field to meet a variety of professionals to learn about the cool and important jobs they do.
Susan Rickards is a marine scientist with a master's degree in animal cognition, or animal thinking, from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Susan says she was interested in science from an early age and was encouraged by her mother to find a job that she loved.
She was the one that always said, do what you love, be happy, that's the most important thing. It's not about money, it's more about being happy. I have been a marine scientist for 30 years now. I've worked in Far East Russia, studying gray whales there for 3 years, and then I was invited to head up a research project working with spinner dolphins in Midway Atoll in our northwestern Hawaiian Islands. And then I came back to the main islands, and I've been working with the Hawaii Marine Mammal Consortium for many years now, studying all the marine mammals that are in our waters here off Hawaii Island. The best part of my job as a scientist is watching the behavior of these animals and asking questions and trying to answer those questions and just constantly having your curiosity piqued. The amazement of being out in nature, of course, is a huge part of that. Just spending time out in this place is a blessing.
Today, Susan and her research assistant are observing black-tipped reef sharks at Pelekane Bay, right next to Pu'ukohola Heiau in Kauai, a place where ancient Hawaiians also studied sharks and even built a shark heiau in the bay.
It was a mound of rocks coming up out of the water, and there would be sacrifices left for the shark. So that was a shark-dedicated heiau. Sharks have a very important role in Hawaiian culture. Many stories, many gods, shark gods, or people taking the form of sharks. So it is very important. That's very likely one of the main reasons why we see a lot of sharks here near Haleokupuni in Pelekane Bay. You might see one. Other times we've seen as many as 20 in the bay at a time. We come often in the morning because the water is calmer and the lighting is good. But any time of day I've had reports that sharks will show up here. So we do shore-based work. We use binoculars and the naked eye to find any sharks that might be out there. We're also taking incidental observations on any wildlife in the bay, the fish, shorebirds, seabirds, the turtles that we see. And when we do see sharks, we photograph them for photo identification purposes. We have a catalog of over 30 animals now. So we can look at their site fidelity, if it's the same sharks, and why this bay seems to be an important habitat for them. So if we can get a good photograph of the dorsal fin of the animals. Blacktip reef sharks have a very dark top of their dorsal fin, and then a white area, and then the gray of their body. And the demarcation between the dark and the white is a specific pattern that other studies have shown lasts their entire life. So if we can get that photograph, it's sort of like having a fingerprint of a person. And if we see the same side of the same animal, then we have a resetting and we know that that animal has been sighted again.
Susan says that a scientist needs to be organized and patient. Before she gets to her observing locations, she spends lots of time preparing.
As a scientist, mostly what you do is prepare for the field season, which is the most exciting part. So getting ready to get out in the field, getting ready to do shore-based work or vessel-based work. And then once we're out there, being patient, waiting for the animals, doing your observations, writing photographs, biopsy, whatever needs to be done.
If you want to be a scientist, Susan says the best way is to do volunteer work during high school, then go to college.
I would recommend a college education, yes, to work at a level and to get positions that you might be interested in doing open to you, to open those doors. The higher level of education you have, the more helpful that is. At the same time, I started volunteering and doing internships in high school. And so getting involved in this type of work can be done at any age, at any level, with any background, as long as you work hard, have fun working hard, have integrity, and stick with it. People will notice that. And so a good education, yes, is very valuable. If you get a higher degree and you keep working, and maybe you get a position tenured at a university, you can make a great amount of money in science today.
Susan's current research assistant, Johanna Dubova, is an international student from the Czech Republic who attends Hawaii Preparatory Academy.
I really like to being outside, and just it's really exciting because you never know what you're gonna see. We saw whales and turtles and of course the sharks, and yeah, everything is so excited about this whole project.
Johanna came for, I think, 3 weeks before she even saw a shark, but she stuck with it, and she's had great luck doing photo identification now as well.
In addition to her research, Susan teaches science at Parker School. She's had assistants from there, other local high schools, and Waimea Middle School. She says there's lots of opportunities to get involved in her research, as well as in other local projects studying marine mammals, sea turtles, reef ecology, and other subjects.
And so we'll just come to this site, we sit on the rocks, and we're patient, and we wait for the sharks. We typically observe for about an hour, naked eye and with binoculars. We'll count the minimum number of sharks that we see, so we can get that habitat use number. And then again, we have cameras with long lenses, and we'll take photographs of the dorsal fins to try to match them to identification catalog for our database.
Susan suggests that students interested in marine biology take advantage of the many volunteer opportunities on the island. They might want to help with the yearly count of humpback whales, or help with Reef Watch to educate beachgoers on ways to protect the island's delicate reefs, or volunteer with the Hawaiian Monk Seal Hospital at the Energy Lab.
I was really shy when I was young, and I had to learn to be my own advocate. You'd be surprised how many people want to help you. Now we have the internet, so you can find out a lot more of what's going on. If there's anything that interests you, call them up, see if there's volunteer opportunities, get your foot indoors. And then once you get in that door, or whatever the opportunity is, be willing to scrub buckets and mop the floor because you're happy and lucky to be there. And that's when that's going to get you noticed. If you have integrity, if you're honest, if you show up on time, if you work super hard. This sounds so simple, but it's amazing how many people don't realize, and they moan and they whine, and life is really what you make it. So every moment of your moving toward what you want to do can be fun, and if you put passion into it, you'd be amazed at what doors open up. But you have to be an advocate for yourself.
To explore more job options, visit the Hawaii Career Explorer, a great place to see future high-demand STEM occupations. Just search Hawaii Career Explorer online or visit our website, mala'i.org.